I am Andrea Olson, and I'm here today with episode 148 from the podcast. It is about why one of our coaches, Robin Kinney, potty trained her son at 15 months old. It's a guest post. She's a wonderful coach from Madison, Wisconsin. So you guys enjoy. Let's do this. Welcome to the Go Diaper Free podcast, where we're all about helping you stop depending on diapers as early as birth. I'm your host, Andrea Olson, author and mom of 5 babies, all EC'd from birth, all out of diapers by walking. This is episode 148, Confession, Why I Potty Trained My Son at 15 months old. So you guys, this week's guest post is from Robin Kinney. She has been a coach for Go Diaper Free for a really long time. She's our EC coach in Madison, Wisconsin. I love how she has learned how to weave EC with potty training in a really wonderful way. And I hope you're inspired by her story that I'm going to share today. You can read the written version of today's show over at godiaperfree.com/148, where we'll also link to anything mentioned on today's episode. And we will also be replying to comments over there. So if you have any questions or comments, you can come on by when we're finished. How bending the rules, believing in your child, and finding the right kind of support can make all the difference in your potty training experience. So Robin says, when my son was 9 months old, a friend invited me to join a play group that met every Wednesday morning. Finally, at 13 months old, my son dropped his morning nap. Okay, I may have encouraged the transition a bit, and I was finally able to join the play group. I was new to the community. I didn't know very many people, and it was winter in a small town, so I desperately needed a reason to leave the house to socialize. A little backstory before I tell you what happened at the play group. I first witnessed elimination communication, or EC, when I was 8 months pregnant, and I was hanging out with a friend and her 6-month daughter. She was part-time ECing her daughter based on natural timing and transitions. At every diaper change, my friend would hold her daughter over a tiny potty and make a sound. And to my surprise, the baby would pee. I decided then that I wanted to do EC with my baby. I purchased Andrea's book, EC Simplified, which is now titled Go Diaper Free, and studied up. My son's first year of life proved to be way more challenging than I expected. It started with a tongue tie, which led to round-the-clock pumping and exhaustion. Then we moved, twice, leaving Oakland, California, and ending up with my in-laws in northern Michigan. So over the course of my son's first year, we flowed in and out of EC as I felt that I could handle it while trying to make sense of my new life circumstances and not getting pee on my in-laws' carpet, so I did it as I could. So back to the playgroup. When my son was 13 months old, at the playgroup, I noticed that there was another boy there about 18 months old. Every now and then, his mother would take him to the bathroom and return a few minutes later. Eventually, the subject of potty training came up in conversation, and she explained her method to me, which was really a combination of ideas from various websites. This was her second child, and she did a similar potty training method with both kids. I asked her, how did you decide to start potty training so young? Which is the more polite version of the more common, isn't he young for potty training? She replied that she read somewhere that the golden age for potty training was between 20 to 30 months. Curious about her answer, I decided to do a little research for myself on the topic, which, by the way, this is Andrea here. The golden age for potty training is not 20 to 30 months. It's 12 to 18 months. Okay, back to Robin. So as my son was 13 months old and I was witnessing an 18-month-old during his first few weeks of potty training, I realized that I had never connected the dots between elimination communication and potty training. But now I was ready to figure out how to get from one to the other. Oh crap, confession part 1. When I went back to my copy of Andrea's EC Simplified book, and I followed the link to Oh Crap Potty Training by Jamie Glowacki. It just so happened that Oh Crap was not available for download at that time and was not available in print yet either. I was disappointed, so I visited Andrea's website to see if there were any other recommendations. I had no idea that Andrea had written a potty training book or that she had a new edition of her EC book out, Go Diaper Free. If it wasn't for that publishing company blackout, I might never have found out about the Tiny Potty Training book, which is my book, Andrea here. So I downloaded the book, read it, and pulled out my calendar. I started thinking to myself, okay, my son is 13 months old now. We're moving again. I know, right? When will he be 17 months old? Andrea says you can start at 18 months old. but we'll be in a brand new city and I have no idea what our lives will be like. So I could wait a few more months to get settled and start around 20 to 22 months old, or I could potty train before we move while I still have the extra support of my in-laws. Confession part 2, bending the rules. Rather than have my son spend 7 to 9 more months in diapers, I decided that I would break the rules and potty train at 15 and a half months old. We chose Sunday, May 3rd, 2015, to be the big day to say goodbye to diapers. This was the day after I would celebrate my wedding anniversary with a night away from kiddo and hopefully be rested enough to give all my energy and attention to potty training. This gave us about 2 months to master potty training before moving, and it worked. Potty training was not easy. I don't think it's ever easy for any family. Changing habits is hard work for both the toddler and the parents, but it worked. We followed the steps outlined in the Tiny Potty Training book, used the troubleshooting section of the book, which by the way is half of the book total, and we used the Facebook support group as needed, and my son was free of daytime awake diapers. What it took for me to be ready to potty train. I believe I was able to successfully potty train my son at 15 months old because I had confidence in his capabilities. I had a clear plan of action, and I had support from my family and my friends. Confidence. My son knew that I believed in his abilities because he felt my confidence and experienced my gentle but firm, consistent message about putting his pee and poop in the potty. A clear plan of action. Having the Tiny Potty Training book gave me a clear roadmap of what to do while giving space for us to put the plan into action in a way that worked for our family. For example, starting at 15 months instead of waiting until 18 months or older. Support. Finding other parents with similar beliefs about early potty training, either in person or through the Facebook support group, which now we have an off Facebook support group too, was super helpful when I felt challenged by the process. My friend from the playgroup simply said, "Accidents will happen." She was right, and it was comforting to hear, just like how my son occasionally falls while walking and running. Even though he's been walking for over a year, there are still occasional potty accidents, and we don't sweat them. We just clean up, learn what we can, and move on. At first, my in-laws may have been skeptical, but luckily for me, they kept their concerns to themselves. I believe they sensed my confidence as well as I prepared their dining room for potty training. They were willing to provide meals so that I could have my full attention on my son during that first week, which is awesome. So once they started witnessing my son's success, they were excited to learn the 4 roads to potty time, which are the 4 reasons you know that it's time to go to the bathroom. And now my son feels comfortable with any of us helping him in the bathroom. As I share my potty training stories with others, usually I tell them, kids are capable. Are you ready? For me, potty training readiness was having a clear plan of action, support, and confidence in my son and myself. So now my question for you is, what do you need to feel ready? Please share in the comments. The show notes are located at godiaperfree.com/148, and there is a comment section, and usually they're quite active. Please share over there, you guys, when you're done listening today. What do you need to feel ready to potty train? Could you possibly have learned something in today's episode that has given you permission to do so? And the resource recommendation from Robin is my book, the Tiny Potty Training book, Completely Stop Changing Diapers at 18 to 30 plus months, or at 15 months if you want, in 7 days, which is our average in our community, gently but firmly without rewards, gimmicks, or M&Ms. And you can totally wrap up EC with potty training with my book as well. So again, please see the written version of this podcast with all the links over at godiaperfree.com/148. We look forward to talking to you there. And until next time, happy pottying, y'all. I'm Andrea Olson, and you've been listening to the Go Diaper Free podcast at godiaperfree.com. And big thanks to Robin Kinney up in Wisconsin for sharing this post today. Take care. See y'all next time. And that's it. Please hit subscribe if you would like to be notified of the next. Oh, hit the bell too if you want to be notified when the next video is up. And I've got a couple more guest posts, a couple more Q&A posts, and I still really want to do that little midnight show. So let's see. If you guys have anything you want me to talk about on YouTube or on the podcast, please write that in the comments below too. We read all of them. I respond to a bunch of them. My friend responds to a bunch of them, who's also a coach, but usually it's me. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Take care, you guys.